Welcome, listeners, to another episode on Rising Above Shadows of Abuse, RASA. I'm your host, Grace Ovba. Today I'll be exploring various newsreels relating to abuse. Our next newsreel is from Sky News, dated Thursday, 9th of January 2025, by Janice Mitchell. Heard how Stuart Hogg, 32, berated his estranged wife for not being fun, and once sent more than 200 text messages to her in the space of a few hours, which caused her to suffer a panic attack. Former Scotland rugby captain, 32, pleaded guilty to a single charge of domestic abuse of his ex-partner, Gillian Hogg, between 2019 and 2024. The sportsman admitted shouting and swearing, tracking her movements and sending her messages which were alarming and distressing in nature. At Selkirk Sheriff Court on Thursday, he was given a community payback order with 1 year of supervision and a 5-year non-harassment order. Sheriff Peter Patterson warned Hogg the sentence was an alternative to custody. Court heard how he berated Mrs. Hogg for not being fun after going on drinking binges with his colleagues, and once sent more than 200 text messages to her in the space of few hours, which caused her to suffer panic attack. Hogg has been due to stand trial at Selkirk Sheriff Court last November, but pleaded guilty to the abuse, which was said to have taken place at various locations, including Harwich in the Scottish Borders and Beardstone in East Dunbartonshire. At Jenborough Sheriff Court in December, he was initially handed the 5-year non-harassment order and fined £600 for breaching bail conditions by repeatedly contacting Mrs. Hogg last June. The former Glasgow Warriors and Exeter Chiefs, who plays for French club Montpellier, now lives abroad and is said to be in the process of getting a divorce. Prosecutor Drew Long said the couple moved to Exeter in 2019 with their 3 young children, who were all under 3, but Hogg's behavior deteriorated as he went out partying. Mr. Long said Hogg would shout and swear and accuse Mrs. Hogg of not being fun for not joining him drinking, and that her family noticed a change in her. In 2022, Mrs. Hogg went on a night out and was bombarded with text messages from the rugby player, which caught the attention of the people she was with, the prosecutor said. The following year, the couple moved to Harwich in the Borders, but Hogg used an app to track his wife and questioned her whereabouts while she was dropping the children off. In 2023, she decided to leave the sportsman and sought advice from a domestic abuse service. Mr. Long said in September of that year, Hogg sent in excess of 200 texts in a few hours despite being asked to leave her alone, which led to Mrs. Hogg having a panic attack. On 21st of February 2024, police were called due to Hogg's shouting and swearing. He was taken into custody and thereafter placed on a bail order, stipulating not to contact Mrs. Hogg to enter the family home. The Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service, COPFS, said no one should have to leave in fear of a partner or former partner. Lynn Barry, Procurator Fiscal for Lothian and Borders, added Stuart Hogg has now been convicted and held accountable for subjecting his estranged wife to years of domestic abuse. He also made 2 appearances for the British and Irish Lions and was made an MPE, that is, member of the British Empire, for services to the sport in last year's New Year's Honours List. Following his guilty plea, Mrs. Hogg thanked all those who had shown support, praised her family and friends, and also singled out those who had given her a smile, a hug, or even just a look to show they care. Mrs. Hogg said she had thought long and hard about posting on Facebook, but added, now is start my next chapter, to move on and to keep showing my kids every day that strength comes from unconditional love and support around you, and even when it hurts, love. Following the court case, Scottish Women's Aid said coercive control, including stalking and micromanaging how women mother, where they go, what they wear, and what they are allowed to say, can be more traumatic than a physical assault. Dr. Shah Scott, chief executive of the charity, added, the sentence in this case, like so many handed down in Scotland, hardly meets the test of being proportionate when compared to the harm this man has caused. I do agree with Dr. Marsha Scott. The sentence in this case is not proportionate when compared to the traumatic experience Mrs. Hogg has undergone. Emotional abuse is not quantifiable by law, but how about the other abuse she must have gone through? Listeners and viewers, what do you think about this? Leave your comments as relates to this newsreel via our email address, risingaboveshadowsofabuse@gmail.com. Thank you.